All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Keep playing hard. Here we go. 180. Check 41.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. A very solid gain of 27. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
A gain of 15. First down, Steelers.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Double time.
Now Roethlisberger. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And it's third down.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
At their own 20-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Back to throw, Watson. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Set. 19. Hey, let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Watson on first down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
A run there on first down, and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Watson. He gets it to Thomas. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Set the tone, defense.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Eight yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Reset. 19. 54. Alert. 54. I'm trying to collect.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. This is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, lest my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, that's the 2nd time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter.
Reset. 19. 54. Watch twist. 26. Wide. Get wide.
They'll try to run with Hunt. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Kareem Hunt, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. And the catch made by Johnson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that? Who
are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
For that, like 20. Hey, tight. Check, tight right.
Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
There's a nice move. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
On second down, Connor looking for space. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
And into the red zone now, and Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
2nd and 6 at the 8-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
On 1st down, Watson hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
This is it. 19. Alert. Hey, watch out. Check. Right 54. Coming, baby.
Here's Watson. It's complete to Fuller. He got 29 yards that time.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. On 1st down, it's Hunt, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Right. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, here we go.
Here's Hunt. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Check. Watch 54. Alert. Check 3.
Now a 1st down throw. Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 7-yard line.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Will Tye, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans have retaken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that'll make this a 6-point game. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
And this is caught at the 20. A big play. Smith-Schuster on the throw from Big Ben. 53 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. Boswell good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
We're set. 19. 54 Mike. Give me that. Come on. 54
On 2nd and 12, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 38-yard line.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. A shotgun snap for Watson. And a catch made by Hopkins. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Where's the tap? 19. 55. Alert, alert. Mike 55. Mike 50. Push it.
On first down, it's Watson. And this is caught at the 8. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55. 31.
To the air yet again, Watson. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Again, it's Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After after a turnover, I feel like I might have him a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
To try again after the sack. Watson looking for his running back, and he's got him. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
29. 55.
From the 50, it's Watson. It's wearing the tight end with it. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation allows him to get home.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Set.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Mike. All right now. Black 20. 55. Mike. I got it.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Watson now to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Blue 30. Alert, alert. 55. I got it. Line 55.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
First down, Steelers.
Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. Draw play, and it's Snell. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It's Ryan Kerrigan getting the sack. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Back now in Houston, it's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. Watson will bring up the Texans here, first and 10 at their own 24. Now Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now a play fake here on first down. Buying time to his left. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 46.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster.
Roethlisberger's pass complete to Juju Smith-Schuster. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up second and 7 at the Texans' 32-yard line.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Now Roethlisberger. Now they go screen. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Roethlisberger now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Again, it's Roethlisberger. And they're He's sacked back around the 28. J.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Third down. Third and long.
So the sack, and now a third and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger.
Any day. Shoot. Watch the shoot. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Flash it,
And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to about the 19. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And the former Rice Al Boswell puts this one through in his return to Houston. And that will bump the lead up to 11. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now, because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. To throw again on second down. Watson going deep here for Stills. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. Trying to get it that time to Stills.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Here's Roethlisberger. And he slings one that's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
The Steelers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Roethlisberger. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
Here we go, here we go. Blue 30. It's a party now. It's a party now.
On the jet sweep, this is Johnson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
The Steelers on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. On third down, it's Connor, and he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner.
Check 9, check 9.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd and 7, Watson. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Throwing on third down, Watson. It's complete. Stills. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They run for it with Hunt. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. All they needed was a yard there for the 4th down conversion, but they got to that second level and got a whole lot more than that.
And how many times have we seen this on 4th down? Defense stacks up near the line of scrimmage. If you pop there, you can go a long way, and that's exactly what we just saw.
The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
16 yards on the play. It's now 3rd down.
The 22 is the line to gain here on third down.
Watch the curve. Watch the curve.
From the gun, here's Watson. And he's got Multi complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. To throw is Watson. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
So certainly some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a 2-point conversion. It's complete to Fuller. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So with 13 on the clock, it's time for an onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on. So for Pittsburgh, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.